Al Jazeera America did this great report on a big issue in Idaho where followers of the Christ Church are refusing any type of Western medicine for their children when they get sick, and they rely on faith healing or spiritual healing. As a result, their children die. Now, they focused on one specific cemetery called the Peaceful Valley Cemetery in Caldwell, and the numbers are disturbing to say the least. According to reports, 70% of these children died after 1972, the majority of which, by the way, there are about 600 children buried there, the majority of which died as a result of their parents refusing Western medicine. 70% of these children died after 1972 when religious exemptions protecting faith healers from charges of neglect, abuse, and murder were enacted in Idaho and around the country. If a child dies or is abused in Idaho, law states that a parent can't be found guilty if they believe in spiritual healing. Idaho is one of only 6 states in the United States that allows religious exemptions for negligent homicide, manslaughter, or capital murder.
Okay, so here we have another case where religion gets to play by different rules. The rest of us have to follow logical, reasonable rules and protect one another and make sure we don't kill each other or cause the death of one another, right? But if you're religious, you throw that out in the garbage. Yeah, it's okay. I can save your life. I'm not going to do it because God told me not to do it. Oh, you died, so what? So what? So what? My sky God told me to let you die, even if it's your own kid. 3-year-olds buried there, 3-year-olds. And then 6 sons of bitches say, oh, that's what God wanted. Now, your sky God is a maniac, okay? If that's true, he's one of the most evil entities in the universe. So, if that's your sky God, perhaps, they always talk about like, oh, you can't tell with the devil's always in disguise. Maybe his disguise is called God.
So the government's role is to protect us, and they're supposed to protect children, right? And I am 100% in support of religious freedom, even if I'm not religious myself, right? I'm atheist, don't believe in religion. But here's the thing, I think that there's a clear boundary, and religious freedom stops when other people are harmed by your religion. So if you're a parent, I understand if you don't want the government telling you how to be a parent, but the government should get involved when your children die as a result of your stupid beliefs, right? So when your kid gets pneumonia or your kid gets some sort of illness that can be treated so easily and you totally neglect the kid or totally oppose any type of Western medicine that would help the kid, then you are beyond negligent. You're a murderer. And you should not only lose your children if you believe in this, if your children die as a result of this, you should be in prison, okay? Maybe that's extreme, but there's absolutely no way that I would change my mind on that. You are beyond negligent.
Yeah, I mean, look, at a minimum, it's negligent homicide because a 3-year-old can't help himself. They can't find the medicine. They can't take the medicine. They're relying on you. And if you get a religious exemption, well, who else can get a religious exemption? Adrian Peterson say, yeah, I whipped my kid until I ripped the skin off his back. That's how bad I beat him, but it's okay, it's my religion, right? Can Muslims say, oh, yeah, I beat my kids or my wife or whoever within an inch of their life, but hey, that's my religion. Will you agree to that? No, of course. No, you wouldn't agree to that because they're Muslims. But Pentecostals, they're good Christians. Pentecostals are among the biggest maniacs we have in the country. Those are the lunatics speaking in tongues. You know you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You've lost your fucking mind. You know that, right? I mean, we're talking about other religions and we say, oh, Muslims do this and that. Yeah, I object to all that. That's why I object to all the religions, right? But you lunatics handling the snakes and talking in tongues and not treating your kids when you could easily save their lives, you are the worst of the worst. They like to use that phrase. Okay, I'll use it for Pentecostals. And so these are the same clowns. A legislator in Idaho. You have her quote?
I do have her quote.
Go ahead, because I got a thing to say about this.
So Representative Christy Perry is a Republican state legislator who is in support of these religious exceptions. And here's what she has to say. And she sounds extremely callous, although she's saying she's not trying to. They, meaning the people of Idaho, have a clear understanding of what the role of government should be. It isn't how to tell me how to live my life. Children do die, and I'm not trying to sound callous, but people calling for reform want to act as if death is an anomaly. But it's not. It's a way of life. No. It gets worse, though. They are comforted by the fact that they know their child is in heaven. If I want to let my child be with God, why is that wrong? That is freaking fascinating, okay? So this is murder, right? This is definitely murder. But you would argue that abortion is wrong because that's murder, right? Well, maybe
Interesting.
someone getting an abortion wants that zygote to be in heaven with God.
So two different things here. One is honor killings. Some sects of Islam do this. So it's a little bit more prevalent in Africa, and some sects of Christianity also do it. Kurds do it, etc. Not all of them, tiny portions of them, right? But what they would tell you is, what are you talking about? My daughter is now up in heaven with Allah, exactly where she should be. Much better than the existence she was living here where she was being immoral. So I shot her in the head and I killed her. And so, I did the thing that Allah, that God, my sky God wanted. So it's great. She's up in heaven now. What are you complaining about, right? Now, in the case of abortion, it's a great point by Anna. I thought you guys were all about, we got to protect life, protect life, protect life. So you get into people's, private decisions, that you get into their bodies, you get between them and their doctor. Turns out they think it's a life as long as it's not alive.
As long as it's a non-viable cluster of cells in a woman's body. That's when it's life.
But once it's born, they say, oh no, that's okay. It had an incredibly treatable disease, and you watched it. You sat there and you watched your baby or your kid or your adolescent or your teen. You watched them die, and you could have helped them and you didn't do anything. Congratulations, they're up in heaven now. What kind of pro-life movement is this? This is barbaric and it's sickening.